Oh shit, man. This is so close, man. Watch out.
So the first and most common question I get asked on almost a daily basis is gonna be, are there a lot of alligators in town? And yeah, I mean, they're all over the place. But really, you're only gonna find alligators when you go out looking in places like this, like Sweetwater Wetlands Park or Lachua Trail, Lake Alice. I mean, there are definitely alligators in Gainesville in wet, swampy areas. But when it comes to your day-to-day life, going to Publix, running errands, dropping the kids off at school, you're not gonna encounter gators in the parking lot, in your general places around town. But again, if you want to see alligators, you can come out to places like this and experience them pretty much whenever you want. So if you want to avoid the gators, the next question I get asked all the time is how far away are the beaches? And actually we do have Cedar Key on the Gulf side. That's only about an hour away. Now that is on the Gulf side, so it's not going to be what most people think of when it comes to a beach, but they do have some great restaurants, some great activities, so I don't want to leave them out. But where most of the Gainesville natives end up is going to be in St. Augustine and Crescent Beach, which is only about an hour and a half away in an easy day trip. So this one actually just came up in the comments for another video, and it's one that I get all the time. It's gonna be, does Gainesville get hit by hurricanes? And luckily, most of our days are sort of beautiful just like this, but we will see some significant rain and a lot of storms. Luckily, because we're so far inland, we don't really see really strong hurricanes. We will see strong winds that can take down trees, hit power lines, that sort of thing. But Gainesville is not an area where you're typically gonna see homes being boarded up and shingles flying off the roof because the storms are so strong. So that's why you need to go ahead and comment all of your questions down in these videos. I'm constantly browsing through them and responding. And I'm curious, what questions do you have? Go ahead, drop it in the comments now. So now I'll take you through the University of Florida campus to answer the next question. Is Gainesville just a college town? This one comes up all the time because Gainesville is most commonly known as being the home of the University of Florida. But really, we're not just a college town. For example, I live in Northwest Gainesville, and if I'm not showing homes around campus or recording one of these videos, I can go weeks without seeing the University of Florida, driving past scooters, or visiting a restaurant that's full of students. Now, if you stop by Target during the UF Fall move-in weekend, yeah, it's gonna be packed with college students. Or if it's one of the 6 or 7 Gator home football games and you're trying to find a place to eat, it's definitely gonna be a challenge, and you're gonna be reminded that you are in a major college town. But honestly, unless you live really close to campus or work on campus, you're unlikely to be negatively impacted by the university. I thought I'd bring you over to one of the many hospitals here in Gainesville because this next question was, what are the healthcare and hospitals like in town? And honestly, we do have some amazing facilities here in UF Shands Hospital, the Children's Pediatric Hospital, along with the Cancer Hospital, just to name a few. Now, personally, we were fortunate enough. Our son was born here at Shands Hospital, and he was premature, came early, had some significant health issues. Lucky for us, they didn't have to transport him out of town to another hospital or anything like that. Luckily, he just went downstairs and was able to receive the most amazing healthcare we could have imagined. Now, a few years later, I myself have run into a few different health issues, and I'm trying to make appointments with doctors. And each of them that I've reached out to so far has told me it's gonna be 3 to 6 months before I have any chance of being seen. So as amazing as some of the healthcare we have here is, there are definitely still some challenges with actually being seen by those amazing doctors. Real quick, if you're new to the channel, my name is Donavan Arnold, and I'm a local real estate agent here in Gainesville, Florida. I was also born and raised here in Gainesville, and now I put out these videos to share with you exactly what you can expect if you're moving to the area. Recently, I've had a ton of people reaching out with questions, a lot of what we're covering in this video, but if you have any specific questions or are thinking about moving to the area, definitely don't hesitate. Give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. Let me know what questions you have and how I can help. So we're over at Gainesville Regional Utilities for this next question because so many people have reached out and asked. They've been hearing that GRU has really high bills. Now this is definitely going to be relative depending on what you're used to, so I thought I'd just give a couple of examples. Now for my household of 5, we typically keep the AC around 75, 76 degrees, and our bills are pretty consistently around $250. During the peak of summer, that may shoot up to about $350. But as another example, I reached out to a friend that's just a household of 2 with about 1,000 square feet, and their utility bills are consistently around $150 per month. Hopefully that gives you a little perspective as to whether GRU bills are expensive or not. So this next question actually got sent to me in an email, and the person wanted to know, is Gainesville a boring place to live? And yeah, actually a lot of people do consider Gainesville kind of boring, especially if you're coming from somewhere like Orlando, Houston, or Atlanta, some of those larger cities with tons of events and things going on. Moving to Gainesville may be a hard transition. For someone like myself who was born and raised here, we've got 3 boys who are all involved in sports. We go to Gators sporting events, fun museums like the Cade Museum. Then you've also got car shows and festivals. We find there's plenty to do. So again, it's going to be one of those things that's just kind of relative, and it depends on what you're looking for. So another question that I get on a regular basis is going to be, does Gainesville really have any shopping and dining options? Now, I was born and raised in Gainesville, so over the years I've seen a ton of growth, and to me it does feel like we have a lot of options, but if you're coming from a larger area, it may not feel that way. Now, Celebration Point and Butler Plaza has developed so much, and with that, a lot of great chains have come to town, with Whole Foods, REI, Cheesecake Factory, and PF Chang's. But what I feel like I've noticed is that we're starting to lose some of the local mom and pop shops. Unfortunately, some of those smaller shops have closed down, and it seems like more chains are coming to town. But if you do love your shopping and dining, keep in mind you've got Jacksonville, Tampa, and Orlando about 2 hours away with endless possibilities. So did that answer all of your Gainesville questions? No? Well, what you'll want to do next is watch some of these videos where I share with you exactly what it's like to live here and what you can expect if you're moving to the area.